Welcome to Corked Stats.
Corked Stats.
From Wall Street to Main Street to 161st Street, where profit meets baseball, fantasy, betting, and game theory.
All right, let's do it to it. No time to waste on the Corked Stats Express. All right, trying to bring you these Sunday episodes whenever I'm home to try and add value on the seventh day in the fantasy realm. The feedback's been really strong. It's also been a huge help with me as far as fantasy, and then it's even helping with the betting stuff. So I'm really trying to put one of these super quick episodes together. Last week's was really long because of all the injuries and the call-ups. This one shouldn't be as bad. Without any further ado, we're going to blow through every team, trying to highlight playing time. That's the number one thing. Looking for new ads, maybe standouts. We go through the probables, 2 starts, and then we're fucking out. Wham, bam, thank you, man. Athletics, pretty much the same lineup every single day. You're not really worrying about these guys. Keep an eye on Carlos Cortez, Lawrence Butler, Jeff McNeil. They're all splitting time, where Zach Geloff looks like a potential legit ad, because he's playing every day, shown a lot of skills, and he's kind of cut down on those Ks that have plagued him. He could be one of those really important pieces this year. Baltimore Orioles, a lot of mixing and matching here. We knew that was going to happen, and they have a couple of guys returning. I saw some news on Westberg. I'm assuming it wasn't good. Holiday should be back soon. They're talking about getting him reps at third base, maybe to push Kobe Mayo out of the way to keep Jeremiah Jackson in there. I guess he doesn't play third. He must just play second. So that's good news for Jackson, bad news for Mayo. And now would be the time, I guess, to add Holiday. Basayo looks like he's pretty much safe and in a strong split. So he's a C2, right? He should be rostered in all 2-catcher leagues, maybe not in the 1-catcher league. There's a lot of catchers right now. Beavers also not going to play versus lefties. He feels more like a streamer. Go figure. Tyler O'Neill is only playing versus lefties. There's just a lot of viable pieces there. Boston, same lineup essentially every single day. Yoshida on the strong side of the platoon. And then arrow up trigger for Marcelo Meyer, who's playing against lefties and righties now, and he's starting to hit. Remember, there's some shine there, so we want to be first on that. People have pretty much forgotten about Meyer. White Sox, again, very consistent in their approach. Antonacci was sitting against lefties. Now he's playing, but just batting ninth. He's been leading off every other day. He should be added pretty much everywhere. Benintendi looks like he's back in the mix. He did sit yesterday, but it was a stiff neck, and they said he's fine. Jared Kelenic is now in the strong side of the platoon. That's a 15-team ad right there. Same for Tristan Peters. I'm not sure which I trust less. They just brought in Randall Grichuk for whatever reason. And Luis Angel Acuna should be dropped in all formats. Cleveland Guardians, looks like a first base platoon situation between Manzardo on the strong side, Rhys Hoskins on the weak side. Travis Bazana in pajamas doing his thing, stealing bases. I think he should be added ever or two. All of a sudden, second base is pretty deep. Daniel Schneemann getting a lot of looks. He missed 2 games in the last 12, but they were both against lefties, and those were 3, in like a 6-day frame. So that's coming across as lion's share of playing time. Keep an eye on Daniel Schneemann. Detroit Tigers are doing quite a bit of mixing and matching. Kerry Carpenter got hurt with his shoulder. That could be an IL stint coming up. McKinstry's back. I think he's worth a spot because the positional versatility, and you might get some speed. The Carpenter injury might keep Wenzel Perez up there too, but there really is a lot of mixing and matching here without Gleyber Torres. Howie Lee splitting with McKinstry a little bit, who's also splitting with Colt Keith at third. They just won't start Keith. He's not going to be a full-time guy. You can't roster him in fantasy. Matt Vierling is the ad on Detroit. Not only is he playing more or less every day, he's leading off for this team. That's one of those picks that if you're not doing this kind of work, you don't realize that. So go us. Houston has not budged at all since last week. The ad is Bryce Matthews. He's playing every day. He was a high-stakes ad last week. Not like I'm reinventing the wheel, but I'm trying to appeal more to regular people. And then Zach Cole is also up. He's played 4 or 5, sat against the lefty. So let's assume a strong side platoon. I'm hoping Loperfido will be back soon. Man, they're missing Correa, Yainer Diaz, Jeremy Pena, even Jake Myers. This offense kind of sucks right now. Kansas City Royals, pretty much the same lineup every single day. When they start to see a bunch of lefties, Carter Jensen may get a day off. Caglianone has been sitting against lefties, maybe more often than not, or half of lefties, so he's still getting more plate appearances than not. And Kyle Isbell, who I don't really think, after that really hot week or two, is kind of blah. Michael Massey is playing mostly every day. He's starting to get the power going. But I think he's more of a back-end ad than anything. Angels are playing the same guys every day except third base, splitting Yoan Moncada with Oswald Peraza. The ad here for the Halos might be Vaughn Grissom, who's now played 3 of the last 4, 5 of the last 7. Second base, he's even played a little bit of first. Toolsy guy, and if they can find an answer at defense, maybe they'll find a spot for him. Minnesota is starting to chop up playing time quite a bit, in fact. It's almost easier to list the players you would roster. You're playing Buxton, you're playing Keishkel, you're playing Brooks Lee, and other than that, it's really spotty. They're very much platooning. So if they have a bunch of righties coming up, I always forget I have this data on a different page. Minnesota facing 4-2, not really great. So this is probably not the week for the Twins. I've liked Cody Clemens in the past. The batting average could be a concern. I don't think he's going to play against lefties at all. He's another part of that strong side platoon thing going on. Yankees have Trent Grisham back in that leadoff spot pretty much every day. At least he's playing versus lefties if he's not leading off. The back third is still better than nothing in this lineup. Ben Rice is back. I'm sure he's added already. Spencer Jones got the call. I obviously want him to be good as a Yankee fan, but generally those type of flaws in your swing and miss at the minor league level do not translate well. I wish him all the best. If he's available for nothing, I'd add him. I would not prioritize him. If you're really desperate for homers, I guess, but I think it may be some time. Mariners are platooning at the back end, so you're safe up top. Donovan is back, Raleigh, Rodriguez, Naylor, Rosarena, even Crawford, everyday players. After that, Cole Young also. Props to Cole Young. The Raley and Canzone versus Rivas and Garver, I kind of thought Garver might see more playing time after Raleigh was a little dinged up, but it doesn't look like he's going to get any DH PAs whenever Raleigh's active, even if he is catching while he DHs. So, the ceiling was always low. I was just kind of hoping to catch lightning in a bottle. I've got some deep fantasy leagues, though, now. A couple of catchers in the pool. I'm going to try and make a splash with Jesus Rodriguez and the Giants. We'll get to that in a minute. Rays are platooning hard. So you could definitely roll with the top of the lineup. Simpson, Caminero, Aranda, and Diaz after that. Fraley is sitting all the time. Palacios is sitting all the time. Not that you want Fortes and Taylor Walls, Ben Williamson anyway. The strong side's a little more appealing, but you got to make sure you're checking. Tampa has 5 righties and a lefty. They are really tough, though. Gausman, Cease, Junk, Alcantara, and Yuri Perez. Not going to be easy sledding. So I would not be looking to stream those Tampa righties. Texas looks fairly consistent. Josh Smith on the IL has created a little bit of a mix in that infield stuff. So Justin Foscue has played 2 of the last 3. I don't know if that's going to stick. I think Berger might be banged up. He had the day off. Keep an eye on that. Not sure if Foscue is worth an ad. That would be a really deep cut. But just to put the name into the ethos. Blue Jays are starting to return hitters. Barger is back. So that probably means so long, Schneider, and goodbye to any lefty starts for Jesus Sanchez. I'm just trying to think of where any extra PAs might come from. Varsher's been playing center. I think they need him out there defensively. Springer is back off the IL. He can really only DH. Deep catcher leagues, Brendan Valenzuela might be worth a look. Maybe I'd prefer him over Garver. I think I most certainly would. That goes to show you how crazy things can get in those leagues. Over to the National League. Set your watch by Arizona. When they face the occasional lefty, maybe Del Castillo sits, whatever. You could still play him anyway. Jose Fernandez needs to be dropped, if not off teams, at the very least down all ranks. And that's kind of what I've been doing here also. Curating that list. It's updating in real time with priorities and category highlighting on the data link under FB waivers. And I put the date of the last time it was edited. So if you kind of pop in, you'll know if there was a new one or not. Definitely expect them on the waiver nights, heading into Friday and then on Sunday. And I try and do Sunday more than once. You got to understand, I'm really, really busy. I'm doing the very best I can. I will update every Sunday. Sometimes I'm out for the entire day before waivers are run on NFPC, and I physically can't change it. And lots of stuff happens because baseball never fucking ends, which is why, one, we're so crazy, but also why we're so damn good at what we do. And also why no one else is doing it, assuming this kind of workload is generally going to expose a lot of people. Call-up for Arizona would be Ryan Waldschmidt. He sat the first game after the promotion. I guess that happens sometimes. He played center and bat ninth. Now, they DFA'd Alec Thomas. And Barossa had been out there a little bit. So this could be his job. I think he absolutely needs to be prioritized. I had Waldschmidt as my top hitter stash. Good for us. So hopefully somebody benefited from that. I'm going to up him on my list. And after this is over, I resort it, share it with you guys. But if you ever have any questions, because fantasy is so nuanced, please feel free to hit me up. If you leave a Substack message, try tagging me. You would think I get all the notifications. I don't always. If you respond to something I wrote, I get a notification. I don't understand. I'm old. I'm trying. If you DM me on X, I will definitely get that also. You can also email me. I want your responses. You're not a bother. The only thing that kills me is when people think I'm ignoring them. If I can't get to it, I'll look you right in the face and tell you I was too fucking busy. So prioritize Waldschmidt, moving on. Braves, of course, missing Acuna. Is getting Eli White into the mix. The big question mark probably surrounds Jim Jarvis, who's like a speedster. I thought it was just going to be a warm body. He's actually started both games at short against righties, so he could be the strong side of a platoon if they like him better than Jorge Mateo, let's say. Worth keeping an eye on. Again, that's only a 15-team thing. Dom Smith, who was hitting the crap out of the ball, went from a strong side platoon to really not playing at all. Oh, funny, because he was raking. He's good on a per-plate appearance basis. Atlanta is facing 4 lefties, though, so you can forget about those guys. But it's good to know, right? You don't want to add Jarvis looking to stream him. He's not going to play. Chicago Cubs. Michael Conforto has been playing every day, but it's been against righties, So I don't think he's going to play against lefties. I'm curious to see if he plays against a lefty if they play them back-to-back. Matt Shaw is now an afterthought. I really can't believe it. Ballesteros has even sat each of the last 2 versus righties, and I wonder if they're starting to favor Conforto over Ballesteros. Just keep an eye on that. We all wanted Ballesteros to get that catcher eligibility. He hasn't yet. Cincinnati Reds. TJ Friedel was just a strong side platoon. Now he sat against the righty too. He's having a tough go. If he's going to chop it up with Will Benson, neither of them is really fantasy viable. Brian Hayes is now sat 2 of the last 5, one of them against the righty. That's a little bit concerning for his playing time as well. With Nate Lowe, who's basically a must-add at this point. He's fucking raking, playing every day, and he made some adjustments. I saw a little something about that. Colorado Rockies seem like they're moving on from Edouard Julien, who's not even playing every day against righties anymore. There's a lot of players here. Very hard to put your finger on the pulse of the Rockies. Moniak, who's probably their best player, still doesn't play against all lefties. Plays against most. Same to be said for Hunter Goodman. You're rolling with those guys no matter what. Willie Castro is part of this equation now. He's playing every day. I think he led off and hit a home run, especially at shortstop, which is kind of slim. Willie Castro should get prioritized. After that, it's kind of whack. Ezekiel Tovar is starting to lose some playing time to Tyler Freeman. Jordan Beck only plays sporadically. Brenton Doyle only plays sporadically. It's really ugly for those Rockies. All right, that'll do it for the free side. I know when I do exclusive pods, they don't populate on all the feeds. So now you know there is a Sunday episode and some bonus content if you want the rest of the waiver ads plus Sunday's show picks. That's all part of the 5 pounds of shit in the 2 pound box. Less than $2 a week. If you sign up for the year, you get the last month free. How about that, Apple? Plus, remember, NFL stuff is out. Color-coded, uploadable best ball ranks are hot and heavy. And I've got stats on the same page. Really fucking awesome. They upload right into Underdog. Yo, man, you can't beat that. There's a couple of broken prices and injured players that we want nothing to do with. And I'll do all the dirty work so you don't have to. So holla if you hear me. If you have any questions, remember, check out the Twitter and the Substack handles for samples of all the shit that you get. I'm going to save you $2 worth of time a week. It's my singular goal right now. So enjoy the games, enjoy the day. When we done with the book, enjoy the pay. Support good people doing good work. And remember, when you work this hard, the winning feels a lot less like luck, yo.